Friends, we are entering that season in the church year of stewardship when we ask people to come forward each Sunday and to tell a word about what Hitchock means to them or something to that nature. And we are so incredibly lucky that Sam Kofman happens to be home from college this weekend. And so we get to see the finished result of what these kids become after we've molded them into what they are. So Sam, take it away.
While interning here last spring, I learned that Hitchcock was named after Welcome Hitchcock, a missed name opportunity if you ask me. But even though this church didn't take his first name, this community certainly lives up to it. As some of you may have heard me say in my senior reflection a few months ago, I grew up interfaith, splitting my time between church and synagogue, Wednesday nights at Kofman, and Sunday mornings here at Hitchcock. I found myself comfortable moving between the two, finding my place in both communities and getting to be the connection between my friends from Hebrew school and my friends from church when we joined forces. The ability to switch between the two communities has given me the opportunity to explore and be immersed in both cultures, but I don't think I would have gotten to experience all that I have if Kofman and Hitchcock weren't so welcoming. It wasn't until late spring when I realized how much I would miss the religious spaces I grew up in while at college, and I was nervous about finding new progressive spaces like Hitchcock, especially since I go to school in Ohio. Near the end of the summer, I met with Catherine, who had done a little research for me, vetting the websites of churches in Oberlin, and gave me a list of ones to try out. I was very nervous at first, especially since my first interaction with religion there was seeing a man holding a sign that said, "Jesus saves," outside the Jewish dormitory on campus. But one morning, while I was walking to class, a church had set up a free grab-and-go breakfast for all college students. And after stopping to get some free food and talk to them for a bit, I knew I had found my new space. It's not Hitchcock, and it's taking some getting used to, especially the choir being in the balcony behind the pews. But Pastor Monique and I are getting along really well, and I'm finding a new community to share my Sunday mornings with. And if I don't manage to get myself out of bed in time to walk down the street to the 10 a.m. church service, I know I have Hitchcock's live YouTube stream to fall back on, which I have watched many times this semester. If it weren't for Hitchcock's welcoming community, I doubt that finding a church would have been on my list of things to do, let alone close to the top. Many of my college friends who didn't grow up in spaces like Hitchcock were very surprised to learn that one of my first priorities upon arrival was finding a church. But I couldn't imagine spending my Sunday mornings anywhere other than church, sitting in my favorite pew reading while my mom goes to choir practice, singing hymns, listening to the very wise words of our pastors, and enjoying coffee hours treats after the service. Going off to college was not the easiest experience, but knowing I had the Hitchcock community rooting for me made it a little less difficult. Hitchcock is truly an amazing space, a welcoming community that ensures everyone feels like they belong, no matter their religious background, upbringing, or any other aspect of their identity. I feel incredibly lucky to have grown up here within this community, and being here today, seeing the next generation of Hitchcock lead the service fills me with hope and excitement for the future of this congregation, and I cannot wait to see all that they do. I would like to end with a thank you for all that each and every one of you does to make this community what it is, whether it's giving money to support the youth programs or putting in countless hours of volunteering to help our local community. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow up in such a loving, welcoming, and inspiring space, and for giving me the confidence to go out in the world and find other progressive and welcoming religious communities like Hitchcock. Thank you.